Hi, thanks for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to show you some tips and techniques in watercolouring. Did you know it's World Watercolouring Month? Who knew that's even a thing? So let's have a look and get started. There are lots of different ways of watercolouring and different mediums to use. So this one, I've used the ink pads and the aqua painters. I shared a recent video using the watercolour pencils, so if you're on YouTube, I'll add that link, or you can go back further in my other videos and catch some tips in using the pencils. But this one, we're going to do a watercolour wash, and there's also some detail watercolouring. Now I've actually cased this card from the annual catalogue. I haven't used the painted poppies in so long, and I was just looking through this, and so I was inspired by this card. Do you use the catalogue for inspiration? I tell you, it's got lots of great ideas. So what you'll need is some shimmery white cards. I prefer to use that. It's a lot smoother when you come to doing the wash. It's a lot thicker and will take some of the water. But you have the added bonus of little sparkles. I don't even know if you can see that. So we'll need that. And I've also got some piece of shimmery white that we're going to stamp on. So firstly, we'll get our stamps using the poppies. And you'll want to stamp it in Stays On, because that's a permanent ink. It'll take the watercolour. So we'll just need a poppy head. And you'll want the smaller poppy. So we can just do that on the side there. And also a leaf. Give that a bit of an ink. Get that out of the way. Got the Daffodil Delight that I'm using to colour with. So what you want to do is get some ink in your inkwell. To do that, you want to give it a really good squeeze. These newer ink pads are quite hard, so give it a really good squeeze to get that in your well. And we'll get our water painters. I also have some scrap paper that I can just dab off. So let's pick up some ink on that and we'll colour the poppy. So dab off some of the first part just because it's so full. Give it a squeeze. With these aqua painters, you want to give it a really good squeeze too. Might even be better. Put that on there. So just brush out. I'm no watercolouring expert by any means, but I found just by using it, it's better to add less colour to start with and then build up on it. So just using the aqua painter, picking up some water and spreading the colour around. Add a little bit around those edges. Now you can just leave that for a bit and we can always come back to it once it's dried a bit. And we're going to do the same with the little flower here. A bit down here. We're going to get the old olive and do the leaf. And with this one also give it a good squeeze. Now you want to just dab off your water painter and squeeze some water through so you can get rid of the yellow out of it, or you can just pick up one of your other aqua painters. This one's a finer tip, but it's good for the smaller areas. And we'll just once again get some water out onto it and spread it around. I think we'll just get a little bit more ink. So give it another big squeeze. So we can pick up some more ink. I'm just dabbing the excess off on some scrap paper at the side. So we'll just go through and do the same. We'll leave that for the moment. What I want to do is the wash on your card. You just use a piece of your shimmery white, like I mentioned. I've cut it with the stitched rectangle dies. You can make any shape you like. So we'll get a bit of pooling of ink on our ink pad. Now this time I'm going to use the wider brush because this is really good to spread it around. So you'll first want to just add some water directly onto your card. So give it a bit of a squeeze. Sometimes you just need to really squeeze these hard. Brush over it lightly in the area that you want the wash. When you're happy with that, and you can just pick up some ink. And it'll sort of, the water on it will just spread the ink around. I think we'll need some more ink on that. Give it a really good squeeze. A bit more. So just build up the colour. Give it a wash over. You just add a little bit more water to it. Don't press too hard with the water. You don't want to soak the card too much. Now, this is a good idea too. When you're doing a wash, you can use, with here I'm just using the Balmy Blue, but you could create a background using a couple of different colours and just do sections at a time with the different colours. So I think we'll just leave that. You need to let that dry. So while that's drying, we can work on this a little bit more. What I'm going to do, get some more daffodil ink. Just add a little bit more to build up a bit of colour around here. And it's not quite dry well, but just to give you an idea. And I'm just adding more lines around where the veins are. Now, you'll need to let that dry. I don't think it's dry enough, but what I've done is done a background before so that we can work on this. So you're going to stamp directly on your card now. We'll use the smaller poppies. Once again, use the stays on. We'll just add a couple of little poppy flowers here. And you're going to colour these leaves in. Now, I find that with the ink and even the fine tip brush, it's still very hard to get that fine line. So you could use a watercolour pencil, sharpen it a little bit more than that, or your markers. So you can just run down on it just to add that green to the stems. just watercolour these leaves in as well. Pick up some ink and let that dry and build up some more colour, adding more colour onto the stem. Then you can finish the card. So what I've done is cut the leaves out. I've cut these yellow heads out. The dies from the poppies are too big for that, so just give it a bit of fussy cut with scissors. I've stamped the blotchy part, the blodge stamp from the Poppies stamp set. So just using this one here. And you'll notice this row of poppies, I've just stamped on the base card just to add something. Finish it off with some brushed brass butterflies. I have to say that very slowly because you get tongue-tied with that. And you'll have just that background, washed background, just softens the card. You could use this with any of your stamps, just building on your background. So I hope you like this video. I hope you found the tips helpful to have a go at your own watercolouring. And if you're watching on YouTube, give it a like. Be sure to subscribe so you can catch some later videos. Or if you're watching on Facebook, give it a like and share it. And I look forward to sharing some more videos with you soon. Have a great day. Bye.